If you need any kind of display for work, productivity, go with an ultra wide screen. It will help you so much, just being able to have 2 pages opened at the same time. Hey guys, welcome to the vlog, welcome to the studio. Today a very special episode. As you know, I did a long while ago actually a video about my ultra wide screen. This one is by LG, 34-inch, and I absolutely love it. I got it like 4 years ago and I'm using it now here in the B studio, and it's definitely my favorite screen for productivity and work because you have so much real estate, so much space. You can lay out everything onto one screen and you just plug it in with one cable to your MacBook and it just works. So since we now got the A studio almost complete upstairs, so it was time for another screen, a new one for the upstairs studio. I actually got 2 to test them side by side, but let's actually go up and check them out. You don't have to stay. So if you've been following my vlog for the past couple of weeks, you've already seen those 2 new bad boys. I just absolutely love the setup. Both screens by LG. Just one of them will stay here. I think it's a little overkill, but if you love 2 screens, 2 huge screens, to stack them on top or have them next to each other, you can totally do that with the newer MacBooks. They can support 2 displays via Thunderbolt 3. What I absolutely love is you can just use one cable, connect it to the monitor. It will stream, of course, like the screen, the information, as well as charging your MacBook. So you save buying another charger, so you can leave your other one at home or in your backpack. And it also solves the biggest downside to the new MacBooks. You don't have any USB connection on them. You don't need to use a dongle. So for example, in my setup now, one cable into the computer for the screen, and then on the back of the screen, like all of my outboard gear. For example, my hard drive and the sound card are both connected to the back of the screen. So this also saves me quite a lot of money. I don't have to buy a dongle, don't have to buy a hub. So it's like all in one, perfect solution. I absolutely love that. As you might be able to see, one of the screens is smaller. It's 34-inch, same size as the one down below, but it has 5K resolution. So if you're working with Photoshop, video editing software, anything where you need like that high resolution, I would definitely suggest you to get this screen. The other one on the other side is a tiny bit bigger, 38-inch. It's curved, the other one is just flat, but it has a tiny bit less resolution, but it's also a tiny bit less expensive. But I think these 2 are just like 100 euros apart. If you're interested, I will link both of them down below. You can check them out, check out the prices and the full specs. The bigger screen has 3840 pixels by 1600, and the smaller one, the 5K one, is 5120 by 2160. Both of them look extremely good. Both of them don't really have any reflections. If they might have any here, it's due to the camera and the light shining on it. Also, there is no color shift. A ton of settings. You control both of them with a little knob down here. You can go into the settings, change the color, change the ratios, change the resolution, as well as splitting each screen into multiple screens. I think up to 4. You could also feed on the back through HDMI another source. So you could also actually like connect a second computer to it, control both of them on one screen, or just use like I do it here, connected to the MacBook, and I'm running Logic to produce my music, and on this screen I got the arrangement view. On this screen, the entire mixer, I can see every channel, which is really helpful and just speeds up my process, as well as the piano roll down here. I got way too many cables down here, but it's like the entire rack. What I wanted to show you is the stand. The stand is upgraded. The old one down below in the B studio, you could just tilt the screen, not change the height of it, which I think is quite important when you work. You need to get this onto the correct eye level. So you just move this up and the screen goes up, and of course down again. I think there's like a spring system right here in the stand. You can also just tilt it back and forth to get it into the right position for you. The connections on the back are almost identical to USB 3, your audio out, as well as to HDMI display port, and of course USB-C Thunderbolt. The bigger curved display comes with a brick. Smaller one, the 5K one, doesn't need one. It directly goes to the power. And it has two USB in, a USB-B up. So if you want to connect it to your MacBook, for example, if it has USB, and then two HDMI, display port, and the USB-C Thunderbolt. The design on both, quite simple from the back and also from the front. You got the screen going to the very edges of both screens, and on the back just wide, looks really clean. So if you want to put it into your office, these won't distract, they look actually quite fancy. At the moment, the curved screen is a tiny bit more my favorite because I actually don't need the higher resolution for my work, just making music. And I also got used to the curved display. I'm actually not a big fan of curved displays, especially not for TV at home, because you have to sit in the perfect distance. And if you watch movies with more than like 2 or 3 people, it gets awkward. But here, it hits the perfect angle. So if you sit close enough, it just looks perfect and doesn't really bother me while working. Just to compare it, here the curved one, slightly curved, and the straight one. I'm pretty sure if you already have a widescreen display, you will know how good it actually is for really productivity and work. And one of these two might be actually a good upgrade for you, especially now with the USB-C Thunderbolt connection to your MacBook. For gaming and also for music production, I would go for the bigger one. If you do any kind of graphic works, if you do editing in 4K for videos, then just go with the 5K one. It's a tiny bit smaller, but you will definitely appreciate being able to see everything that you film and edit. From this kind of distance, I can't really tell the difference, but let me try and film it a little bit closer so that you can see the pixel density actually. This is not the most scientific test, but this is the bigger, less resolution display running the same plugin as the one with the higher resolution, the 5K one. Yes, if you go really close, it looks a little bit sharper, but I think in reality, working with them at a normal distance, this shouldn't be a problem. I will definitely just keep one of them, because 2 of them, they are in between me and the speakers, so they actually make it a bit harder for me to hear actually everything. And if you're wondering what the noise is, the fans of my MacBook. I think this is the biggest downside, and it's not the display's fault. This is Apple just putting way too much CPU into a way too small body with way too less fans. So running 2 displays, the MacBook handles it, one even easier, but you then really need to put it somewhere else. It's just too loud, or maybe cool it a little. It's still running without throttling, but yeah, it's a little bit annoying if you make music. If you need any kind of display for work, productivity, go with an ultra wide screen. It will help you so much. Just being able to have 2 pages opened at the same time, it just speeds up your working process. And as you know, in the business world, speed usually equals money. And then on top of that, you got the built-in USB hub and the charger, so you save again. So it actually doesn't seem like that much money anymore. If you can't afford any of these 2, then go for the older one that I'm using in the B Studio. Just try to get the widescreen. It just makes so much more fun. With that being said, that's it for today. If you want to check out the displays, all 3 of them, link down below in the description. We'll see us tomorrow back again here in the studio, probably doing the first listening session of the Stay Remix competition. As you know, we started it like a month and a half ago. You got 3 more weeks to finish the songs, and I can't wait to go and check out the versions of my original song, Stay. So yeah, see you tomorrow here in the studio. I will now enjoy these 2 and just keep on working on the follow-up of Stay. You don't have to stay.